Hello there, everyone, and welcome to GameCola podcast number 28. My name is Michael Gray. I'll be your host for tonight, and joining me is Minji and Liol. People, introduce yourselves.
I mean, you could have just called them Lizzle.
Lizzle, yeah.
We prefer Paul Lizzo, actually. It really flows well.
Or Pizzo.
We do not prefer Pizzo.
I prefer Pizzo. If we have to be Minji, I think you should be Pizzo.
Minji and Pizzo. Anyway, Pizzo. Pizzo is Paul Franzen, GameCola's editor-in-chief, and...
I'm Elizabeth Medina-Gray, aka Lizzo, I guess, because that's what makes the word Pizzo. I write testgame.exe, making the adventure.
And in Team Minji, we have, I'm Vangie Rich, sometime delinquent columnist and author of Gamer Girlfriend.
And I'm Mark Ridgaway, governor of the Lower Boroughs. I also write Quantum Geek.
And he does not have an English accent.
He tries very hard, though.
He really does.
Yeah.
Okay. And the subject of today's podcast is Miles Edgeworth Ace... What's the title of this game, by the way?
Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, I think.
Yeah, that's the official name of the game, and I think our first topic should be, why is that the official name of the game?
Because Miles Edgeworth is a god among men, and he deserves to have his name in the title.
He does, but would not Miles Edgeworth Ace Prosecutor be a better name?
He doesn't really prosecute.
Yeah, he really doesn't do any prosecuting in this game. That's...
Which made me so sad.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to lay the law smack down on some fools. I was hoping it would be like an episode of Law and Order, except... You know, instead of Sam Waterston there, it's Miles Edgeworth, and you come up with your super smart ways to convict the guy who's trying to wheedle out of it. I mean, it was still fun. I still enjoyed it because Miles Edgeworth is a god among men. But yeah.
Well, before we get too far, Michael Gray, why don't you tell us what this game is for anyone out there who doesn't know?
Miles Edgeworth, I always call it Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations myself, but the Miles Edgeworth game is basically a spin-off of the Phoenix Wright series, in which you star as Phoenix's rival / friend / well, there's a lot of slash written about Phoenix and Edgeworth.
Which I believe Lizzo appreciates. That's
my ship. But that's okay.
You're not Phoenix Mia?
I don't know, kind of. Maybe.
You're not Phoenix Mia.
Why not?
It's Phoenix Maya.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Ew!
What? What do you mean,
exactly,
ew?
Exactly.
What? She's not that much
I know,
younger.
it's difficult.
Oh.
It's difficult.
So basically you're asking, am I into necrophilia or pedophilia? Pick your poison.
Yeah, I think that's what Paul is asking.
Oh.
Alright,
She's 19 by the end of the series. It's okay. Isn't she?
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was going to be a discussion on Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth, but I'm going to be straight with you. It's just going to be about Phoenix Wright relationships. That's all this is going to... Every time we try and get onto a different conversation, it's going to go back to, well, what do you think, who do you think Edgeworth is interested in? Or who do you think Kay is interested in? Who do you think Gumshoe's interested in?
Well, we know who Gumshoe
and
is.
Franziska, obviously.
No.
What? No.
Maggie.
Paul.
You heard.
Oh, wasn't there a fan fiction about that, though? Oh.
But, like, he's
No.
actually interested in Maggie Bird.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Paul, that was case number 1 of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Did I finish the description of the game? It's basically just a spin-off. It's a spin-off of the Phoenix Wright series, in which you star as Edgeworth, a prosecutor, and it's sort of different from the Phoenix Wright series in that it's all third person, and there aren't any courtroom scenes. One of the cases takes place in a courtroom, but we don't have any impressive legal battles. which the Phoenix Wright games are well known for. Did I leave anything out?
Eh.
So how do people feel about the lack of courtroom cases in this game?
It made me sad.
I didn't like it, but what I didn't like more is that they sort of tried to shoehorn the courtroom drama into like outside of the courtroom stuff. Because like everything happens outside of the courtroom, but Miles Edgeworth is still like interrogating people and acting like he's in the courtroom, and I didn't really think it fit that well. What did you guys think?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think that Edgeworth in this game, instead of being a prosecutor, he should be more like an international man of mystery. He's got the ruffles and the British accent, and he's working with the police, so...
Wait, how do we know he has a British accent?
Because he has ruffles. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Touche.
I never pictured Edgeworth as having a British accent. Oh, that's so interesting.
Well, we do have sound clips of Edgeworth, you know, Eureka!
Eureka!
And,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a new thing in this game. Eureka.
Eureka.
Eureka!
Right. Lots.
Yeah.
Not so fast.
Yes.
All right, so I guess basically, do we think it would have been better if they didn't try to do away with the courtroom scenes? Because it seems like I guess what we're saying is that they were just trying to shoehorn in the courtroom gameplay into the investigation scenes. You think it would have just made more sense to not bother trying to do that and just have the distinct sections like the other games?
I always thought that worked well, because it kept the game varied. You'd investigate, then you'd have courtroom scenes, so it would mix it up. And here I found myself wanting the courtroom scenes kind of as a change of pace, but there weren't any.
Mm-hmm. I think the game tries that with the cross-examination they try to switch things up, but I mean, when you get to, like, say, the last case, the last 2 hours or so of the game is nothing but cross-examination, so kind of the idea of switching up, it doesn't work.
So why do you think they made the decision to do that? Why do you think they took it out of the courtroom?
Probably to differentiate it, from the rest of the series.
To try to
make the game new, make the game seem new, fresh, different.
Mm-hmm. Plus, probably it would be way too easy if it was courtroom stuff, because Edgeworth wins every single trial just by bullying the judge.
True.
Unless he was going up against Phoenix in this game.
Ah. What do we think about that? That Phoenix was not in the game and only got very subtle references, or maybe not so subtle, every once in a while.
Yeah, it made me sad because I was hoping to a return to, non-hobo Phoenix.
Porcupine-haired friend. I
With the
missed
blue
him.
suit and the red tie.
Right. Man in the blue suit.
Yeah, I think in general I was kind of hoping for more tangible appearances by other characters in the Phoenix Wright series. Like, there were a bazillion different random background cameos to other characters, but I was kind of hoping they would be more integrated into the story, I guess. Especially Phoenix, but also the lesser characters.
Well, you're talking about you wanted more of the main characters, I should say, because, like, Old Bag was there.
That's true.
I thought she was hilarious, but...
Her and Mary worked well in the storyline, but I think the other cameos, like Meekins or
right.
Ema Sky, that didn't work. She just showed up, and
Right.
she had, like, 3 minutes of dialogue, and then she disappeared.
Right.
And we never saw her again.
I guess by main character cameos, I just mean I wish Phoenix and Maya were in it
Yeah.
and professing their love for each other. But I guess we're not supposed to talk about that anymore. So what else about this game?
Well, Kay annoyed me.
You didn't like Kay.
I did not like Kay.
Really?
But I think the reason I did not like Kay is because I was hoping for something different.
Hmm.
I read about her description in the booklet, and I thought this was going to be like, I don't know, a grown-up woman helping Edgeworth, and, that maybe it would be a romantic interest, and maybe it would be interesting to see Edgeworth actually come out of his shell a little bit and, show some emotion. And then Kay appears on the scene, and it's just like, oh. Great. Another underage Japanese teenage sidekick.
You know, the Japanese really do love their their teenage sidekicks. I mean, they're like comic books back in the 50s.
So it wasn't. Maybe I don't know how much of it was Kay herself. I think a lot of it was just me being disappointed.
I think some of it might also be the translation. I've mentioned this to Paul, but in the original Japanese, Kay is supposed to be a ninja.
Mm-hmm.
And for the US release, they changed ninja to master thief.
Because Americans don't know what ninjas are.
Yeah.
What is this ninja you speak of?
Interesting.
So I can't help but wonder if maybe that's why her character is not very good. It's because they're trying to shoehorn ninja into thief.
Right.
And stuff gets lost in translation.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of think in general that the translation / localization of the whole game was very, very weak compared to the other 3 games. It did not have as much, I don't know, life to it. I feel like it was just much more a strict word-for-word translation without really adding, or I don't know how to articulate this exactly.
No, a good translation knows how to go beyond the literal.
Yeah.
And capture the spirit of the words too. And
they might translate things. I notice a lot of the things are not translated. They're just straight from the Japanese, and they're hard to pronounce, which confuses me. Like Yatagarasu
Right.
and
Yes.
all the other ones. And Amano, and the character names, too, yeah.
Yeah, I found myself kind of skipping over them in my head while I was reading the text in the game just because I had no idea how to pronounce them.
You know what I did like, though? I really love the relationship between Miles and Franziska and how that was developed. Especially when they showed that case where she was, 13?
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Franziska she is a good teenage sidekick.
I really liked young Edgeworth. I was really excited when we got to hang out with him. See, the artwork was so good because he was, back to his sort of cocky Edgeworth. I guess he's always like that, but sort of early Edgeworth style, and he looked so young and fresh-faced, and that was a lot. I really enjoyed that chapter of the story, actually.
Yeah, me too. And Franziska with a riding crop.
Yeah, right.
And I like I said, I really love the way that their relationship was developed because you really do see how very much he thinks of Franziska as a little sister. And there's this weird tolerance that he has for her. That, she beats him with a riding crop and yells at him and calls him names and always refers to him as Miles Edgeworth. But he doesn't yell back. There's always this tolerance and restraint and underlying it a kind of affection that's really cute. So that was one of my favorite things about the game.
I like that too, but I think the only problem I had with that is that he never explained that he thinks of Franziska as his sister. So if you haven't played the second Phoenix Wright game, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I thought it was relatively apparent in the way they acted towards each other. It was a lot of sibling rivalry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think about the pacing of the game and the way that the chapters were set up? Like, one of the things that I was a little bit, I don't know if I want to say put off by, but I thought it was a little strange. Like, because you play the first case, and then immediately you have to go, sort of backwards in the story to a time before the first case with the second one. And then it's not until, really far into the game that you actually get to pick up the story of, what's happening with Edgeworth and, the thief thing that he mentions. Especially with the second case, when you go back before even the beginning of the game, I don't know, I felt like it was a big step backwards and nothing was really happening in the second case. I don't know, what did you guys think about that?
I thought that, for one thing, I think the threads tying all the cases together were very weak.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were jumping back and forth in time would have made more sense if the storyline were such that it's you reveal more here and then you reveal more there and you see how this case connects to this one and how they're all interwoven. But because the threads were so weak, the jumping around was just jarring.
Yeah, the official order is case number 2, and then case number 3, and then case number 1.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, case number 4 occurs first,
Right.
so it's weird. And it's kind of weird at the end of case number 3 when the victim of case number 1 shows up.
Right.
That's just weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are threads that connect each of the stories, but I mean, like you said, Vangie, they're pretty weak, and so I guess that means that like the only like core story that happens from the beginning of the game to the end of the game is just in the first and last chapters, and then everything else is just sort of backstory. Which, I mean, I guess if you're not thinking about it that way, like if you rearrange them in your mind into chronological order, then it makes more sense. But for me, playing the game, I felt like almost like I wanted to skip ahead, like I wanted them to get back to the story of like what's going on. I don't know.
And I mean, you compare that to something like the third Phoenix Wright game, where you have that whole thing with Iris and Dahlia and how they appear and reappear, and there's this backstory that's just slowly revealed piece by piece throughout the different cases, and when it finally hits you full on, it came together really well and was really effective. And compared to that, this was just so
Yeah.
Not great.
I agree.
I wonder if this game just had different script writers than the other 3 games. It kind of, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Again, it could just be the translation, but it kind of doesn't really feel like it was either written or localized by the same people to me.
I agree.
I'm guessing localized rather than script writer, or script. I'm guessing localized rather than the other one. I mean, that's just my guess, because the economy went bad, so I imagine Capcom just fired all of their workers and replaced it with people with no experience.
It turned out to be not a great idea, if that's what happened. So it affected the bottom line quality of the game.
I'm sure the unpaid interns enjoyed it. So, we've been talking a lot about this game, I guess, but... Have we said much so far about Mr. Edgeworth himself? How does he appear in this game? Say, is it different than his appearance in the Phoenix Wright series?
Well, I think he's definitely a much more developed character than he is at the beginning of the first game, and possibly throughout the first game. He's a lot more human. He's not so much just an antagonist and an evil person. And I think it really emphasizes the growth that he went throughout the Phoenix Wright trilogy.
It's weird. I almost kind of prefer Edgeworth as a strong side character rather than a leading person. Because one of the great things about Edgeworth was always kind of his mystique, I guess. And the way that Phoenix saw him.
So you think it takes away from the character that we're now... in his head, seeing, like, literally what he's thinking.
Literally.
Well, not literally in his head.
No, actually,
okay.
Literally, in the logic scenes.
It's like, oh, you're no longer a god, you're just a man.
You see him basically undergoing the same indignities that Phoenix does, and Phoenix is a much goofier character. And so, somehow, Miles, who is so dignified, to see him take one hit is really funny. To see him take hit after hit after hit just kind of... It deflates the character a little bit.
You grab that whip and you yank it away, and you wag your finger at Franziska, going, I'm Edgeworth, and you don't do that to me.
But I think you have a point. I mean, I feel like because it focused so much on humanizing him, it made him rock out a little less.
I can see that, definitely. Yeah.
We almost named one of our cats Miles Edgeworth. Actually, if one of our cats had been a boy, I would have insisted.
We're actually we're planning to get a pair of bunny rabbits soon, and we're considering naming one of them Edgeworth.
Excellent.
Phoenix and Maya are also up for debate.
I was kind of voting for 2 bunnies, one named Miles and one named Edgeworth, but Lizzo shot that down for some reason.
No.
So, I think other questions. What about, say...
Well, we haven't talked much about Kay Faraday yet, the sidekick, or have we?
We've talked a little. I want to put in my 2 cents. I did really like her, actually. Or maybe just because I didn't, like Vangie, I didn't, well, as opposed to Vangie's experience, I didn't read much about her beforehand, so I wasn't disappointed, I guess, when she showed up. And I'm okay with the fact that she's pretty much Maya, take 2. Because I like Maya, and the game was lacking in that sort of, spunky, goofy, fun girl character. So I liked her. And I thought that her Badger Get thing was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. Made me really happy whenever she did that.
She never got all of them, though.
She never got all of them, though.
That was so disappointing.
Yeah.
They just left that loose end there. Setting up for the sequel, I bet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be a sequel? Do you think they're going to continue with Edgeworth as his own franchise and just completely spin him off from the Phoenix Wright games? Do you think they should do that?
I think I've made my feelings clear.
I wouldn't mind if they did that, mainly because it's not Hobo Phoenix, but if they were making, Phoenix Wright number 4, Apollo Justice didn't happen, I'd prefer that.
How about Phoenix Wright's triumphant comeback?
That would be pretty cool, too.
Post-Hobo Phoenix.
As long as they explain where Maya was during Apollo Justice.
Off being a mystic?
No. Not the Maya I know.
Well, but yeah, she's a mystic.
Oh, but she would have been there. She would have been by Phoenix's side. Maybe. She would have showed up at some point.
No, Phoenix married Iris. You didn't play Apollo Justice, so you don't know that Apollo is actually Phoenix's son with Iris. Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Is that actually... You're just making that up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just with you. No, but getting back to what was said about Kay Faraday, I don't know. I guess she's an okay character. I had the opposite reaction. I thought the game was sort of overloaded with wacky sidekick character because we have Detective Gumshoe working with Edgeworth pretty much all the time. And with Franziska in case number 4, she's not exactly a wacky sidekick, but that was funny enough.
I liked her better as a sidekick.
Yeah, I kind of liked her better than Kay Faraday, too.
I think I would have liked to see more Gumshoe as a sidekick, because he only really followed you around in one of the cases. I feel like you didn't really spend a lot of time with him, and that was kind of what I was expecting going into the game, was like the Miles and Gumshoe fun happy hour. But no.
Gumshoe accidentally steps on the clues and Miles docks his pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe it would have gotten old.
I mean, I don't think Gumshoe actually makes any money anymore. I think he probably, has to pay the department to work there.
I think he's been in the department so long, you'd think he would have developed some skills at some point.
Poor Gumshoe. He does things.
He probably sneaks into the break room. He's sucking down packets of creamer and sugar just to stay alive.
Oh.
Yet he manages to keep a decent physique.
No, Maggie Bird feeds him. She keeps him well fed.
Oh, I'm sure she does. Sure she does.
Okay, maybe she got fired from her job as a waitress, but maybe she became a waitress somewhere else. I don't know. No, I actually took a job as a security guard and got fired from that, too.
And then she was a cop and she got fired from that.
Maybe her unemployment checks are paying for everything.
Well, she is getting unemployment checks from apparently 60 different companies.
I think she's making a living off of severance packages.
It's interesting, or maybe it's not interesting, maybe this just is a boring plot device, but in the Phoenix Wright games, Maya's always getting accused of murder, and Maggie's always getting accused of murder. So, did anybody else see it coming that Kay Faraday would be accused of murder?
If you're in a Phoenix Wright game and you're not getting accused of murder, it's because you're actually the murderer.
That's a good point.
Or the judge.
They need to do that next game.
Yeah.
Where the judge is accused of murder.
But they need a different judge.
They could bring back didn't he have a Canadian brother or something?
Yeah, with blonde hair.
Yeah. How interesting would it have been if Maya was Edgeworth's, sidekick for one of the cases?
That would have been a weird dynamic. Oh, I guess maybe it wouldn't be that weird because Kay basically is kind of a derivation of Maya.
Well, I mean, do you guys know about the Phoenix cameo in the third case?
What?
It's hard to find. It's basically a hidden cameo, is where you can see Phoenix, Maya, and Pearl at the park.
No, really?
Yeah.
I missed that completely.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
It's
Not
the second
great. I think
time-
you're lying.
No, it's the second time you go to the Wild Wild West area. Instead of going directly into the room like the game wants you to, going directly to the place where Edgeworth was being held captive, you can actually escape. You can go to the left and just see Phoenix, Pearl, and Maya. But they're in a boat. You can't talk to them or anything like that. And Edgeworth doesn't say anything about them. They're just characters in the background for you to see.
I start yelling at him from shores like, Phoenix!
Yeah, really.
Hey, Phoenix! Come be in my game!
I don't think the Edgeworth character would have done that though.
Can I just want to say, if we make our, as we have talked before, of the Phoenix Wright musical GameCola style, I think Mike Ridgaway should play Edgeworth. He's been doing a really good Edgeworth impression during the podcast.
I second that, but I don't think we're going to do the Phoenix Wright musical. They've already made 2 of them in Japan.
Oh, but those aren't in English.
Ours will be better.
Ours will have boys in it.
Ouch.
Well,
Not ouch.
No. Theirs is all girls.
It's an all-girl acting troupe. What do you expect, Paul?
Oh.
Anyway.
Miles Edgeworth, yes. Yes, of course.
I don't think our Phoenix Wright musical is getting off the ground.
Oh, it'd be fun.
It would, but Mateo only writes New Age music.
I counter your argument. Here's where you're wrong, and I have the evidence to prove it. Oh, but objection! You're wrong, Phoenix Wright. You didn't know about this evidence, and how it proved you wrong. Well, then I call for another testimony with this amended evidence. All right, Phoenix Wright, you can have it.
I hope you were waggling your finger during that number.
I was.
That was very good. Alright, I have a question for you guys. This is something that I thought of when I was playing this game. Is Edgeworth's hair gray or black?
I think it's black.
You do?
Yeah.
I assumed through the whole first 3 games of the Phoenix Wright games that Edgeworth's hair was gray, but it struck me.
Well, you're wrong, Lizzo.
It struck me all of a sudden that it could be black.
Done. It's black. Done.
No.
He's a little young to be having gray hair.
Franziska has gray hair.
She has blue hair.
It's white hair.
No. Well, I don't mean
blue.
gray. It was silver.
Yeah, white or silver or white hair runs in the Von Karma family. Manfred had it.
That's right. Okay. So
That's because he was 65.
Maybe they're a family of albinos.
I always assumed that Edgeworth had gray hair, but then in this game I noticed that his hair was the same color as Kay's, which was definitely black. So.
You're wrong. Done.
Oh no, my world has been shattered.
But isn't his hair a lighter color than Phoenix's?
It's lighter than
And Phoenix's is definitely black. So, isn't it, if it's lighter than black, doesn't that make it gray?
There's different lighting on the other side of the courtroom.
I just don't know. I'm so confused. This is very important to me. Oh.
We're going to have to consult, the official pictures in the handbook, I guess.
Uh-huh.
No, don't think the handbook said... I'll check right now.
Does it have hair color listed in their little biographies?
I know the website has eye color,
Oh.
which presumably should have hair color as well, right?
Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Well, wait, is the website really, like, are you talking about the official Ace Attorney website or like the court records fan website?
The Ace Attorney wiki.
How official is that?
I don't know. I like Wikipedia. It's fine. No,
Anyway, about that hair color.
Hair color. A. Faraday has green eyes and black hair, and she was born in 2001 to 2002.
Whoa. Indeed. Oh, well, these games take place in the future, right?
No, she is actually 7 years old. Sorry, no, they do take place in the future.
All right.
You take place in the future, Paul.
No, it says right here, Edgeworth.
Oh, no.
Eye color gray, hair color black.
Oh, my goodness.
Born in
Booyah.
92.
Oh, my goodness.
Done.
Wow, he's born in the same year as my sister.
His French name is Benjamin Hunter.
You're making Vangie feel old.
All of us feel old.
Yeah, really. Vangie, are you sad because Edgeworth's too young for you? He's too young for me, too.
I'll take it.
For Franziska, they have blue eye color and light blue hair color.
Weird.
Blue?
Whoa.
Because it's blue. God, how could you, not notice her blue hair?
I
Because
thought...
people don't have blue hair, Michael Gray.
It's a Japanese thing.
No, it's silver.
Are we Japanese, Michael Gray?
Silver's the Japanese.
Check
Michael Gray.
TV tropes.
Michael
Japanese
Gray.
blue
Michael
hair.
Gray.
Yeah?
Am I Japanese?
I'm
Am I
not Japanese.
Japanese, Michael Gray?
No.
There you go. People don't have blue hair.
Anyway. All right, I'll
Definitely
accept
hair,
that
yeah.
that problem solved, even though in my mind I will continue to think of Edgeworth as having silver hair. But that's okay.
I didn't think it was silver. I thought it was more gray.
Gray, silver, whatever. Same.
Well, silver's more shiny.
Whatever.
Black.
Anyway.
It is definitely officially black. I can't believe this. Black hair, gray eyes, and they spell gray not the way I spell my last name, which always bugs me.
Yeah, mine either.
I got it wrong. I'm gonna have to update this Wikipedia now. Wait, Edgeworth has a pet dog named Pesu?
What?
What? When was this?
I don't.
Maybe that's in like the.
Oh
one
god,
of
that's not in the
mangas or
manga, is it?
something.
Yeah. No, Michael, you read the manga. Was it in there? Was there anything about his dog?
No. Nothing at all about his
I'm
dog.
guessing that the manga probably isn't considered canon anyway. At least there are certain parts of it that I really hope are not considered canon.
Let's not go
Yes.
into that.
It's a family podcast.
Well, I do remember reading a rather humorous fan fiction where Kay Faraday is buying the Edgeworth manga and torturing him with it. That was fun.
All right, so there were anything else about this game we want to talk about? How did everyone feel about the controls in the new third-person perspective?
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah, the controls were okay. I've heard complaints about controlling using the touchscreen, but I never did that, so...
Yeah, I used the D-pad for all the movement and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the take it or leave it. I mean, I don't really know why it would be any better than the first-person perspective in the Phoenix Wright games. I guess it's just different, and maybe it's something they were trying to do to differentiate it from the Ace Attorney games. I don't know. I think they should have spent more time on the text and less time developing a new engine for the game. Personally.
Well, I mean, it did take them like a year to translate it, and then they deleted it got delayed several times, I think. Did it? Yeah, no, it was supposed to come out at Christmas, but it got delayed till February 2010, which is when it came out. So, I don't know where I'm going with that.
So I guess overall, were people? I'm getting the sense that people were a little disappointed with the game.
I liked it. I mean, I guess it wasn't everything that I wanted, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I liked it overall. I enjoyed playing it, and I really like Edgeworth. So
But I guess in comparison to the other Phoenix
in
Wright games,
comparison-
yeah.
In comparison, it was. I didn't like it as much, but I still liked it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Michael, Vangie?
Yeah, that sums it up for me.
I was hoping for more Edgeworth Franziska, though. I mean, as I've said already, case number 4 was awesome with Edgeworth and Franziska, but I didn't really. There wasn't. The magic was gone
Oh.
with the duel Edgeworth and Franziska. Did anybody notice? I mean, like towards the end of the game, where they just packed every room full of characters that just stood around and watched the whole scene.
Well, they do that with every Ace Attorney game.
They do?
Most of them.
I didn't notice. I mean, usually it's just, I think it's usually just Phoenix and his sidekick and the person he is talking to at the moment. The
Yeah,
characters
because
are...
near the end of the game, they like to do the big reveals where it basically flashes to everyone in the room going boom, 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 boom. The huge reveal is dropped. No, they do that all the time.
Yes, but I mean, like in case 5, half the case was Edgeworth had a crew of like 5 people following him the whole time.
Because Edgeworth rolls deep, yo.
Yo!
Edgeworth is gangsta.
I think he would very much not appreciate you saying that about him.
So, what did people think was the coolest moment of the game? Because I think the coolest moment of the game was case number 4, where Callisto U just pulls out a gun while doing the objection point. I just like that picture.
I liked
Who
the
does that?
Badger get. I already said that. That's my favorite.
I'm actually kind of having a little trouble thinking of a specific moment from this game that really stuck out at me as being awesome. Maybe that's part of the reason that I didn't really like it as much as some of the other Phoenix, or all of the other Phoenix Wright games that I played, is just there was nothing really spectacular about it.
Edgeworth pointing his finger at people and waving, as usual.
I kind of like the scenes with Gumshoe and Little K.
Oh,
I thought they were cute.
they were cute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they're sharing that candy bar or something.
The Swiss roll.
The Swiss roll, yeah. And she's sharing it with him because he doesn't have enough money to get one for himself.
Some things never change.
Yeah.
For Gumshoe.
Also, watching Little K kick Edward in the shins was kind of funny.
I like Little K when she would get like cornered or something and she'd back up and she'd do like a little dance like a cat.
Yeah.
She'd like put out her hands and be like, you can't see it. Well, Vangie can, but I'm bopping back and forth like Little K does.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah. I remember that animation. That was pretty cool. I wonder why they didn't do that for older K, because she does do that. Because I'm doing a video walkthrough for this, and I just saw this recently. In case number 3, where she thinks she's caught the bad guy, she does the little dance thing right there, but they don't show the animation of her picture doing it. They just show the the sprite of her jumping back and forth.
Doesn't she do a lot of air punches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she puts her finger underneath her nose. I thought that was kind of weird.
What are you saying, Michael Gray? You saying she's picking her nose? I say that's projection, Michael Gray, and I won't stand for it.
No, I'm not saying she's picking her nose. I'm saying I don't understand that piece of animation. Maybe she's just rubbing it. I don't know.
She's just itchy. She has allergies.
Maybe she...
Oh.
I thought that the proto-badger was like the scariest thing I've ever seen. So that's not on my favorite list, but I would put that on my most effective list. The part where it like sneaks up behind Edgeworth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That freaked me out. And then every time I saw it afterwards with those big empty eyes. Yeah.
Scary.
Didn't like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, what did you guys think of Kay's little thief tool that let her reconstruct crime scenes, or that's how we used it in the game anyway. What did you guys think about
Yeah,
that?
I thought that was a good gimmick. It let you play with stuff in a way you couldn't do, so that was neat.
Yeah, it was okay,
Did
I guess.
anyone else? Sorry, go ahead, Michael.
It doesn't seem technologically feasible.
I know it was far fetched, but as a game mechanic, I thought it was cool.
The game's set in the future. It's okay. They have that kind of technology.
Oh, awesome.
And they put it in the hands of teenage girl sidekicks.
Yes.
Well, no, she inherited it from her father, who was the real master thief.
Mega.
Something like that.
AKA Ninja.
Ninja. That would have been cooler if she was a ninja, but I guess she... Would that have worked to have her be like a wacky ninja? Have there been wacky ninja characters?
Yeah, she doesn't really act very much like a ninja. She's a little too buoyant.
Yeah, but when we first see her, she's like breaking into the theme park for no apparent reason.
And then she gets stuck and can't get back out.
Some ninja.
Yeah.
You see why I was disappointed.
I think she just broke in just for plot convenience so she could meet up with Edgeworth. I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Yeah, actually I'm starting to sway over to Vangie's side now. It would have been super awesome if she was like really skilled and stealthy and like cool and self-confident. Well, she's already self-confident, but a different sort of thief character.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been
You think there was a little
interesting.
too much wackiness?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I liked her a lot, but I'm thinking about it. It could have been really interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting actually that they surround Edgeworth, who is, I think it's fair to say, a fairly serious character with a bazillion wacky sidekicks all over the place. I wonder if that was something they were really trying to do to try to change the tone of the game.
I think this kind of goes. I have this theory that's a sort of like, well, obviously there's a culture divide between us and Japan. It's just Japan doesn't like to do badass characters that much. They like the wacky things, or they like the angsty ones. It's at most the badass characters are ancillary, and then when the badass character gets his own game, it's he becomes either angsty or wacky, or becomes surrounded by wacky people, and it's. I think we look for something different.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it wasn't that the Edgeworth game was bad or that it wasn't fun. I just feel like it could have been better. Yeah. It could have been more fun, more cool, more neat, and it wasn't.
Edgeworth goes in, guns blazing, explosions behind him, and then when the last guy or when the bad guy raises his gun, and after the gun battle just goes click, Edgeworth raises his finger. Does the finger wag? Kablam! Shoots him in the face.
This brings a question. Detective Bad. Do you think bad? I mean, do people agree that bad stands for badass, or no?
I mean, it's not very subtle symbolism.
I didn't think it was very cool, but I've read stories where he beats up Chuck Norris.
Are people really still doing the Chuck Norris thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Because they're afraid of what Chuck Norris will do if they don't.
Okay, here's a question about Detective Bad. The things with the lollipops and the mirror, does that say to you wacky in-joke or censorship?
Ooh. Because, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's a bit of a wacky in-joke because at this point they're known for, kind of having someone look like they're about to pull a gun or something, and then it not really being a gun, so they're just kind of... Probably first it kind of started with censorship, but now it's gotten to the point where it's like...
Self-parody.
It's self-parody, yes. Also, he might be gay.
Wait, what? Where did this come from?
What kind of man keeps a mirror like that on his person at all times?
He's just very sensitive about his appearance. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying. He's at least Metro.
Not with that coat.
It's a code. I was thinking that too. It's a code of sentimental value, though. He has to wear it because it reminds him of, I forget what happened in the game. Something with all poles. Something
Being
about
shot.
guns. Yeah.
Or somebody shot, perhaps.
Yeah, I forget already.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Says the guy whose hair always has to be perfectly coiffed.
Not always. I can get it mussed when I'm out doing sports.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Tried looking up. It doesn't say anything if that's like censorship or not.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, self-parody and censorship.
Yeah, but the joke only works like once, and he does it constantly throughout the whole time.
That's true.
I mean, maybe it's funny the first time when you say, "Ha, that's not a cigarette, that's a lollipop," but that joke gets boring after the 5th time.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, the grape juice thing gets a little bit old after a while too.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
At this point, probably.
Just is it supposed to be wine or grape juice? I don't know.
It's wine. You know it's wine, but it's just he was drinking grape juice. He got really smashed off grape juice. Oh no, he has grape juice all over his nice trousers. It's just like, really?
He wakes up on the floor of the bar, and it's not because he had so much grape juice to drink. It's because of the earthquake on the plane. Oh, well, he changes things for Hobo Phoenix then, because he's addicted to grape juice.
Right.
And I thought that really was grape juice, but, Guess he's a drunkard in addition to being a horrible, horrible person. He's drinking because Maya's not in the game. So depressed.
Why isn't she there?
Paul, you didn't even play the game.
I read a summary of the plot. That's enough.
Trucy is Maya 2.0. Well, if Kay's not Maya 2.0, then Trucy is Maya 2.0. So she's there in spirit. Only now she's a magician, not a
Well, in the Japanese version, she was a ninja.
No, he's talking.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
you're making a joke.
That was a hilarious joke.
Sorry, I didn't follow that line of humor. It was too far above me. Sorry.
Hold on a second. Try that joke again.
No, it's okay.
No, I have the sound effect though. I have.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not doing it. Just gonna forget it happened.
Okay, so unless anybody has anything else interesting to say, I think we're pretty much talked out about this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to say. I'm enjoying my lollipop right now. I actually have a lollipop. It's delicious. And it's a grape flavored lollipop, so
Whoa. So that means it's made out of alcohol.
yeah.
So that's it for the GameCola podcast.
Wait, any final thoughts? If we could think of any that make us sound clever.
It's a good game. I would give it a 6.5. That's better than average.
We don't do decimals anymore.
But I can't decide whether it would be a 6 or 7.
Sorry.
I'll go up to 7. 7.
7 sounds decent. It's still a good game. It's just kind of, it loses a few points because of the expectations.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, actually, I would probably be a little harsher on it because of the expectations than a 7.
I think if it was translated by the original Phoenix Wright team, it probably would be higher up on the scale.
Yeah, I agree. I think the translation really hurt the game for me.
Okay, well, this has been GameCola. This has been the GameCola podcast about Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for listening, everybody.